Organized Grind with Orikal Uno. Recorded live at Grapefruit Studios in South Minneapolis.
Yeah. What's up, world? This is Orikal Uno checking in with Organized Grind, the podcast. This is episode 9. And we have another special guest joining us today. Why don't you introduce yourself, special guest?
Yeah. It's DJ BigDaddy FlapJaks.
Yeah. So, as some of y'all might know, DJ BigDaddy FlapJaks has currently joined the Grapefruits roster as our official DJ. And
yes, sir.
We actually just had a practice session just now. Ran through the set. He's hooking up a bunch of real dope blends, and we're basically taking it back to the old school party rockin' vibe. And I'm really excited. How are you feeling today, man?
Man, blessed.
Blessed?
To say the least.
Why's that?
I woke up today. I've got three beautiful children. And I got to come here and rock out, you know what I mean? And get ready for the show that we're doing on the 12th at Can Wonderland in St. Paul.
All right. Well, hey, man, we're going to kick this off like we usually do. And that is getting into where are you from and how did you first get into hip-hop?
I am born in Burnsville, from South Minneapolis / Brooklyn Park,
okay,
Minnesota. So,
okay.
I first got into hip hop. I would have to say, I must have been 7 or 8. The first time I heard my older sister playing some hip hop music, and I think at the time it might have been Bone Thugs, East 1999.
Okay, Bone Thugs, East 1999, Eternal.
Yes, the Eternal.
That's right. Do you remember what songs stuck out to you?
The very first one.
Like the one that starts out the album? Yeah.
East 1999, my nigga.
Yeah,
you know,
like, that's a classic.
Think about back in the day, you know.
Yeah, man. Yo, Bone was dope.
So my older sister, she's like 3 years older than I am, so she was, she was 11 around the time that I think I really first was paying attention. My dad had a lot of music though, so
okay.
I mean, I grew up listening to Sting and Seal and
okay,
jazz. I was really into jazz as a little kid. So,
sure. So is that what your dad was into as well?
He was actually into everything.
Okay.
Rock and roll music, reggae, a lot of rap that was more kid appropriate at the time.
Sure.
So like I remember my dad having like what was it? Young, Rich, and Dangerous,
sure,
Crisscross album,
yep,
because there's like no swearing in that album or whatever. And
okay.
so we would listen to stuff like that, Mary J. Blige and things like that. So
sure.
But he was all over the place with his music because he was a security guard or bodyguard and things like that for events back in the 80s and
nice
stuff like that here in Minnesota. So
that's dope, man.
So, yeah.
Do you remember what the first music you ever purchased on your own was?
Absolutely. The first CD that I was able to purchase on my own, I had to go to Walmart because my dad didn't let me have uncensored music at the time.
Okay.
So I was able to go buy Snoop Dogg's "The Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told" album. In the blue plastic case.
Nice.
So that was my very first purchase. I can't remember what year that actually came out.
Sure.
But I think that might have been his first No Limit release, I think.
Sure.
When he switched to No Limit.
Okay, yeah. I think it had like that song, "Daddy, I'm in Love with the Gangsta," like that song. With Lalo. Was that the one with Lalo? Better lay low.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope, I don't think so.
That was before that?
Man, I can't remember the staple song off of that album.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up.
Word. It's all good.
But yeah, it was a dope album. There were some real good songs on that album.
Sure. So I've heard this a lot myself, and I'm gonna ask you the same question. You have an interesting name. how did you get the name DJ BigDaddy FlapJaks?
So, my brother Ned was telling me a story. He's not, Ned is not blood related, but he's the closest thing to a brother somebody could have.
Sure.
But he was telling me a story about his cousins around the breakfast table, and somebody said something about BigDaddy FlapJaks, and I lost it. So I can't even take credit for it.
Okay.
He told me a story about it, and I was just like, you know what? One day I just started running with it, and then when I created my Instagram, I used BigDaddy FlapJaks, and then like everything that I have, social media, it says BigDaddy FlapJaks on something.
Sure.
But I initially was going with DJ Ames until I found out that DJ Ames is already a DJ. So.
Okay.
So
sure.
yeah, I wanted to go with BigDaddy FlapJaks at first, and there were a few people that kind of discouraged me from using it because they didn't want to say BigDaddy FlapJaks.
Sure.
Well, I don't think I want to say that, and male and female were like, I don't really know, and I'm just like, it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm a goofy person, but when you see what I can do, then you know that my DJ skills are serious.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like I'm just a funny person, and I want people to laugh and be like, "What's this dude about?"
Sure, man.
Is he even gonna be any good? Because his name is Goofy. It sounds goofy as hell. What the BigDaddy FlapJaks? What the hell is that? But then when you hear the shit that I'm rocking, or whatever, if I'm live or if I'm doing my own set at a venue or whatever, you'll see that I can keep the party rocking. And from all ages, and yeah,
dope, man.
So yeah.
So how did you get into DJing? Like, what made you want to become a DJ?
At one point, I decided that was my musical thing. Mm-hmm. I grew up. I know how to sing. I actually can rap, but I felt like there was an oversaturation of people trying to do all those things. And I didn't know if I was really going to be that, good enough to do something like that. So I was just like, you know what? I have a really good ear for music.
Okay.
And I know what sounds good. And, I used to beatbox when I was in junior high school with a few cats. All the time and things like that. So, I would always be like fake scratching in my head when I hear music. And, I could hear certain parts of songs where you could, re-loop it and all of that. And then just listening to DJ Drama and DJ Clue, Premier and Grandmaster Flash and Jam Master Jay, and hearing all that and how they did things, and then hearing how DJs did things on the radio, I'm like, you know what? I think that's what I really want to do. I want to play the music. I might not necessarily make the music, but music is so universal and it speaks to everybody. And, it gets people in good moods when they hear certain stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring that party to people.
Sure.
That good atmosphere, that positive energy. So I was like, you know what? I want to do that. And I just was like, you know what? 2012, I had some money. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and buy my first set.
Cool, man. So basically, do you remember the very first party you've ever DJ'd?
The very first party I DJ'd.
Or like, what was the first time where you were in front of people playing music for them?
Man, well, I'd probably say 2013 or something.
Okay.
Like that. Small get together at my apartment.
Sure.
Type, but we had a decent amount of people, and I used what I had at the time and played a bunch of music, and it was cool. But my actual first time I got paid, was back in 2015. I helped do a wedding.
Nice.
And that was like my first, or no, I'm tripping. It was my brother's graduation party. That was my first real event.
Yeah.
And then my first paid event was when I had linked up with a DJ at the time. Shout out to DJ Nuyo. He saw that I DJ'd and introduced himself, and we ended up doing a wedding together and got paid some decent money. And so I do whatever I can, but being a hip hop DJ is kind of what I want to do.
Sure. So the first time that you played in front of people, like, did you actually plot out the set list, or did you kind of just go in there and freestyle and kind of hope that it worked out?
Yeah, I freestyle actually most of my stuff.
Okay.
The first time that besides weddings and things like that, where, there's certain stuff that people want to hear. Mm-hmm. So, I'll download, what they want to hear, and, then kind of just freestyle whatever. But the first set list I made was, I think, the Nomad show.
Okay, the Nomad show.
So yeah, I actually planned to do only old school hip hop that night, and I had probably 30, 40 songs to choose from, so I could have rocked it for a long time, but I messed up and forgot my dang laptop charger, and it screwed up my my set time. I was supposed to be on for about an hour and 15 minutes, and it only turned out to be about a half hour by the time I got back.
Nice. So since you started to talk about that, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit about that Nomad show?
That was my very first hip hop show.
Okay.
Before that, I had did a venue or a comedy show at the Red Sea, but
shout out Red Sea, man.
Yeah,
it's a
shout out
classic
to the Red
place.
Sea. It was and shout out to Elliot Vreeland, local comedian doing his thing.
Nice.
He was the one to put me on for that show, and I did well as I could, But so yeah, this Nomad show, my cousin, shout out to Just Wulf, he asked me a few days before the show, because he couldn't lock down a DJ, if I was available. So I said, sure, absolutely, and let me come out.
Sure.
And man, it was just, the energy was great. And I remember talking to you about this before, off the air.
Sure, man. Yeah, man.
That not a lot of people were there, but the right people were there. And I really felt that when you said that, because, it wasn't a packed house, but
right.
The energy was great. The people that were there, the artists, and the people in the crowd, even the people that ran the venue. I mean, everything was so positive. The energy was just great. And that was the first time that I met you guys, or saw you guys perform as 1+1.
Sure.
And when you gave me that record, man, I was like, man, this dude is cool. Yeah, I want to see what he's doing, and hopefully one day get to know him. And here we are, bro.
Nice. Well, we are almost at 15 minutes in, but before the first commercial break, why don't you tell us about the DJs that influenced you? You had slightly touched on that in the beginning here, but why don't you go ahead and tell us about the DJs that mean the most to you, and why?
I'd say the DJs that mean the most are definitely Jam Master Jay, because he was R.I.P. Jam Master Jay. He was the first one that I really, because of the history of rap. I love history, so I wanted to go back when I really started to get that love and that craving for hip hop music. I went back to see these older DJs and what they did, and I can't really even say anything without giving shouts out to DJ Kool Herc, because he's the one who started the whole movement.
That's right.
To begin with. I wouldn't be here without him at all. So just having that history with just, even Kool Herc and Jam Master Jay, but, hearing all the Gangsta Grills and all those mixtapes and stuff like that, it really inspired me to want to do that kind of stuff. And listening to 3 6 Mafia and Chopped and Screwed and all that, Swisher House music and things like that. I loved that sound, and I know that that's I could do that with my DJ equipment if I, could
Sure.
get my hands on it.
Sure.
So, DJ Drama, DJ Clue, Static Selecta, DJ Premier, all these dudes, they're just so, and they've been in the game for so long.
Right.
And, they're not just DJs either, they're producers too.
Yeah.
I haven't got that producer piece down yet, but just the way that they play their music, it just, I was like, yeah.
Dope.
That's my lane.
Dope. Well, hey, man, we're going to go to our first commercial break. We are here with DJ BigDaddy FlapJaks on Organized Grind, the podcast. We'll be right back.
Yo, representing the Midwest, this is Truth Maze. Yes, y'all. Check out the new EP. It's entitled The Holy Bible. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Music and elsewhere. Red Pill Music, baby. They don't wanna see you in your raw style, see you in your stance while you're doing your own fucking dance. No, they don't wanna see you in the space, big grip on your face while the music straight's banging in the place. Now they don't wanna see you in your raw style, see you in your stance while you're doing your own fucking dance. No, they don't wanna see you in the space, big grip on your face while the music straight banging in the place. They don't wanna see the top cream rise, know what I mean? Run a scheme when the power ain't really about the green. The stereotypes precise as laser beams. Got the mind stuck on only what's seen when truly it's the free mind. Keeping shit cracking, they be acting, but without us ain't a damn thing happening. The parallel, not knowing it's all about
Yeah. We are back on Organized Grind, the podcast. I'm here with the new Grassroots DJ, BigDaddy FlapJaks.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about how you got into hip hop, your influences. You had spoke briefly about your cousin Just Wulf. Are you guys close, or go ahead and talk about him a little bit?
No, we actually, the first time we met was at that Nomad show.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So I met his dad.
Okay.
Some year, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 maybe years, almost 5 years ago, I think. Or somewhere around there, and started building a relationship with him.
Sure.
Because I don't really know a lot of my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And he, back and forth from Minnesota to Illinois.
Sure.
And then Just Wulf lives here, so it was a blessing to be able to get in contact with my big cousin Michael, his dad, and he's actually the one who really kick-started my DJing as of today.
Sure.
He gifted me my hard drive.
Nice.
And my first 80,000 songs.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's dope. So how did that connection first come about then?
Just social media, man.
Okay.
And then, him reaching out, his dad reaching out to me and things like that. And then, when he figured out that I was a DJ, he linked me and Justin up, Just Wulf.
Sure.
And, then that brought about him asking me to come DJ that night at the Nomad.
That's dope, man. Shout out to Just Wulf. I know that he's on tour. Shout out to Hecatome, the crew that he's repping. That's a really cool story, man.
Yeah, it was dope.
It's crazy how the galaxy kind of works like that. Huh?
Absolutely.
So obviously you're into hip hop. You've been doing a couple shows. What are some of the best hip hop shows that you've personally seen?
The best hip hop shows I've personally seen. Well, my very first hip hop show that I ever got to go to was Young Jeezy in 2007 after his second album dropped.
Do you remember what venue that was at?
It was at Myth.
Okay.
Yeah. I was not 21 yet.
Nice.
And I got in heavily under the influence of alcohol. And I remember every bit of the show. Somebody threw something at him on stage, and he stopped the show and was like, "I'm about to come down there." And I was like, whoa, man. But that was a live show. It was a dope show.
That's dope.
And then Styles P was a dope one. I can't remember exactly. I think that might have been at Cream back when Cream was popping. And that was in 2007 maybe. 08.
Did Maria Issa, was she playing too? Because I think I might have played that show with her and Killa Capone.
I think
We
so.
opened for Styles P at one of those clubs, and there wasn't a lot of people there.
It was when his what was that damn album? The one with Green Piece of Paper. Whatever that album was.
Was there like a lot of the cats that were like on bikes and stuff, and they had the jackets kind of in attendance, and then Styles P did like the shortest set ever? Or is this a different show?
No, that might have been a different one.
Okay, cool.
This one, he was rocking.
Nice.
He was rocking this one.
Nice.
I ended up in VIP. I was pretty lit back then too.
Nice. That's dope.
I don't drink anymore, but I had a lot of days where I was pretty lit in the clubs, going to shows and
man.
Whatever.
How long has it been since your last drink?
I haven't drank since August 3rd, 2017.
Wow, so that's nearly 2 years now.
Yes, sir.
What brought that change?
Just realizing that it wasn't really doing anything good for me.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, some people can drink all the time.
Right.
And do what they got to do, and they're not, complete dickheads when they get drunk, or, overly emotional or whatever. They just drink, have a good time. They can get drunk, have a hangover, and be good. And I was not one of those people.
Okay.
So
congratulations for getting clean, man.
I appreciate that, man. It's a good thing for me. But yeah, I've it was a long time coming, and it took me a long time to actually realize that I was only using it to mask things that I couldn't really mask.
Right.
Alcohol is not a tool to help you get through anything you're struggling with.
Not at all, man. Yeah.
It's not one of those things.
Right.
And I use that as an excuse. Well, I just want to break. I just want to,
relax
on the weekends. Relax. And no, I wasn't
Right.
relaxing. I was up till 3, 4 in the morning, blasted, and
I feel you, man.
not doing much. And I'm a dad.
Sure.
Back then I only had one kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't have him all the time. And, I didn't want him to see me the way that he's had to see other people in his life. So that was a really good driving force too.
That's awesome to hear.
To get it out.
Yeah. That's the first time I'm learning that about you. So that's really cool to hear, man.
Yeah, addiction's a motherfucker.
Fuck yeah. How old were you when you had your first kid?
I was 22, turning 23.
Okay.
So
was it rough, or did you have it like under control?
I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared, but I wanted it. I wanted it to happen, just because of how I saw my dad and his dedication to being a father. I wanted to have that family and, that dynamic and build that. So, she got pregnant, and, she was on the fence, and I was like, hey, let's do it. And so we did. And, he's 10 years old now, and
wow.
Yeah, it's
time flies, man.
Yeah, it does.
Cool, man. Well, hey, why don't we go ahead? We'll take this one into our second commercial break. We're gonna keep this one a little more short this time around. So, second commercial break. We're here with DJ BigDaddy FlapJaks, getting to know him better. And we'll be right back. This is Organized Grind, the podcast. Hey, what's up, world? This is Orikal Uno checking in to let you know that I just released a brand new EP entitled Speech Therapy. It's entirely self-produced. I made every single beat. I wrote every single lyric. I recorded it, mixed it, and mastered it. And you can now get it at orikaluno.com. That's ORIKALUNO.com. Thank you for listening. I ain't got the patience. I'm getting so close that I can taste it. On the chase, can't leave a moment wasted. Give it all I got just to make it. Anticipation, I ain't got the patience. I'm getting so close that I can taste it. On the chase, can't leave a moment wasted. Yeah, give it all I got just to make it. Shoveling more coals into the locomotion. Combustible, the engine running off explosion. Increase the potency, pouring my Puerto Rican potion. Keep the motion rolling. Yes, y'all, we are back. BigDaddy FlapJaks on Organized Grind, the podcast. So you're basically just starting out your journey as a DJ, huh?
Yes, sir. I really only been actually doing it since 2015.
Sure.
So
what are some goals that you would like to accomplish? What are some things that you would like to do? What are some skills that you would like to learn? Basically, where are you trying to go as a DJ?
I'm trying to go everywhere, really, but I really just like the doing shows right now. You know, obviously getting ready for our show on the 12th, which is next Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
And then May 2nd, we got another show coming up.
Yep, at Lee's Liquor Lounge in Minneapolis.
Lee's Liquor Lounge. And getting ready for that, you know what I mean? I'm pretty much where I want to be. I just want to get better. And by that, you know, I want to be able to do more scratching, you know, the old school way on my new school tables.
Sure.
You know, upgrade my equipment a little bit, because, you know, you can never go wrong with that. So, you know, touring and things like that would be really fun. And, you know, just being able to play music, man. If I can go rock a party, house party, you know, private party, you know, a party at a venue. I mean, whatever it is, I want in.
Sure.
And because with more gigs means, you know, more experience. With more experience means better skills.
Yeah, man.
And
just putting
more
in that
practice.
work.
You know, getting more gigs means I get to practice more. It gives me a little bit more fire to get on the tables, you know, every day. And you know, because you can fall off being a dad, being a dad, and you know, I stay at home with two of my youngest right now, and work at nights when I can. So getting out and being able to play, this is exactly what I'm trying to do.
Dope. What kind of advice do you have for younger fathers out there?
Do it right.
Do you want to speak on that a little more?
Absolutely. Some of us who become fathers younger, we tend to look at it in our adolescent minds for all the wrong reasons. And when I say do it right, you know, it's reaching out to fathers older than you, or who are going through the same things you're going through, but maybe differently. And you see, you know, you got to reach out, because it takes a village to raise your children.
Definitely.
And you got to lean on your close friends and your family members and people that inspire you, that you look up to get that guidance. Because sometimes we get caught up in the women, and you know, when things go sour, it creates a large friction. And you know, I remember being caught up on who's going to be around my kid. But you know, I was having my kid around other women. So why should I be worrying about her if I'm going to be doing me?
Yeah, man.
Let her do her, and hope that they're doing what's best for the child. And as long as you're doing what's best for the child as a father, then, you know, just, you know, keep doing it.
Yeah, man.
Never give up. You know, I've been through the ringer, so I know what it's like. You know, and fatherhood is the greatest thing for most people. You know, that our fathers can say the same thing, that it's life changing. It's something that you can't really always put into words. It's a beautiful thing, and you got to cherish it, and you got to grow and develop and do for them, but also take care of yourself.
Right.
Because if you're not at your best, then you can't really be at your best for your child.
Bars.
And you can't really give them everything that they need if you're not giving yourself everything you need. So you gotta start with yourself and go from there.
Definitely, man. That was good. So what's something that a typical person might not know about you?
Well, I'm quiet for the most part at first, when I first meet people, but most people probably don't know how goofy I really am.
Okay.
I'm just a goofball.
Sure.
I'm a goofball. I have a really weird, funny laugh.
Okay.
That most people think is really infectious.
Okay.
And you know, when you get to know me and see me in my element, you know, you'll get that.
Sure.
But I'm other than that, you know, I don't know.
Sure.
I think people, you know, really don't see how dedicated I am to what I love. And you know, you really can only understand that and get to know that if you get to know me. So
Sure. So when you're not DJing, when you're not doing hip hop, what are you doing? When you're not being a dad, when you're, you know, well, while you're being a dad, but not DJing, not doing hip hop, what are some of the other things that you're into?
Oh, I play video games.
Okay. What?
I'm a little bit of a gamer. I love Gran Turismo.
Okay. Classic.
Me and my pops used to play that as you know, from Gran
PS1?
Turismo. Yep, the first one all the way up until now.
Yeah.
And the newest one that they've got actually gives you the option to go back to the old school controls, where you're using the D-pad to steer and X and square to, you know, stop and go and all that kind of stuff. So
that's dope.
yeah, I do that. I play a little bit of Madden.
Okay.
You know, I'm not really into the Fortnites and all that kind of stuff, but you know, I get down on the sticks. I get down on the sticks.
So are you more PlayStation or like more on the Xbox side of things?
I've always been more PlayStation, but I've had an Xbox. I've had an Xbox 360, but I've always played more PlayStation. That's just my
word.
That's my deal.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, hey, we're at 32 minutes in. Do you have final words for the people that are hearing right now? Is there anything that you want the listeners to know about you?
Yeah. One thing to know about me is I have a sad but uplifting personal relationship with suicide and mental health. I witnessed a suicide in 2014. It was my 15-year-old brother.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all good, you know, things happen. It used to be really hard to talk about, but I got tattoos on my hands that are semicolons, and it stands for, it's supposed to represent mental health awareness and suicide awareness. And they chose the semicolon because an author sometimes, instead of ending the sentence, can use a semicolon to continue on.
Sure.
And that's kind of what it stands for, is to continue on. And the one on my right hand is for him. My girlfriend's little brother is the one who is not necessarily mine, but we all found him, me, her stepdad, her mom, and her in the garage hanging. Damn, and it was one of the most real experiences I think I've ever had, because it kind of shows you your character.
Yeah.
In a situation, are you gonna run and get help, or are you gonna be the help?
Yeah.
And I chose to try and be the help. And you know, it kind of sucks because, you know, I couldn't necessarily save his life, but he was already gone. Damn, so I had to, you know, come to grips with, hey, it wasn't my fault. We were already, you know, too late.
Sure.
So I mean, to try and get to the point, what I want to say to anybody listening is that you are necessary, you are wanted, you are important, and somebody out there loves you no matter what. No matter what, there is at least one person that you can know for sure loves the hell out of you.
Sure.
And that should be enough for you to stay alive.
Right.
And that should be enough for you to wake up every day and, you know, get out and do something. You know, and just to, you know, be aware of yourself, be aware of who you are. Don't, you know, change for anyone, you know, but if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts or, mental health issues like PTSD, which I suffer with.
Yeah, man. Makes sense.
Because of what happened with her brother.
Yeah.
And anxiety and things like that. Get the help you need to get. Because there are people out there that love you and care about you, and they want to see you succeed.
Right.
And they want to see you have goals and achieve them.
Sure.
So stay alive.
Yes.
Is really what the main message is. Stay alive, because there's so much to be thankful for. You can wake up every single day. There's a lot of us that have both legs that we can walk on.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that don't.
That's true.
There's people that don't have homes or food to eat. You can really just be thankful that you woke up.
Right.
And that you have arms and hands and all 5 or all 10 of your fingers and toes, and a mouth to use to eat, and all that kind of stuff. A job to go to, kids or whatever it is. There's always something. Even if you just say, "Oh man, I woke up today. I'm really thankful for that." And then you look outside and there's birds chirping and people running, and it's beautiful out.
Yeah,
there's you got to look at the little things and build on that.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Stay alive.
Well, hey, man, it's been, I've only known you for a short amount of time, but I have to say that what I've learned about you and just getting to know you personally, you definitely have a lot of good things going your way. And, as sad as the suicide is, it's almost like now you have support from the other side that's pushing your life in a seemingly positive direction.
Completely.
And, it sounds morbid, but it's almost like you have a lot of help and support, and things are going really good for you.
Absolutely.
And it seems like you have a lot of support on your side.
Yep,
So
I couldn't agree more.
I'm really sorry to hear about the situation, and just gotta hope that he wound up in a better place.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Just know that now you have that angel on your team now.
I've got a really
pushing.
thick squad up where the pearly gates are.
Right.
If that's what you believe in. If you believe in a higher power, you know that your people are looking down on you, and they're protecting you. And that's just real,
Yeah.
Death comes. It's something that's really hard for me to deal with. Suicide really sucks. I don't like when I hear about people taking their lives and things like that, because there are people that love them that are now hurting for a lifetime because they're gone. And, you just got to be aware.
Word. Well, hey, man, let's go ahead. Do you have any sort of final shout outs that you would like to give before we wrap this episode up?
Man, shout outs. Man, I got to shout out my brother Ned. I got to shout out my guy J.O. He's another artist in Minnesota. Soda Supreme, good family member of mine. Man, there's so many people. Ray Kennedy, he's an excellent barber, dope MC.
Nice.
Obviously, you guys, 1+1.
Sure.
Dispute
One is in the house with his son right now as well, in the background, just kicking it.
Yeah, man.
It's nice.
Yeah, but, shout out to my pops and my mom and my family and everybody who supports me, man.
Word up. Well, hey, man, we are going to end the podcast with a song that you seem to really enjoy. This was the first track when we started to practice that really seemed to catch your attention.
Yes.
This is a song of my own. This is off of Speech Therapy, Orikal Uno, The Bends. My name is Orikal Uno. We've been here with DJ BigDaddy FlapJaks.
Yes, sir.
Peace and love. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time. This has been episode 9 of the Organized Grind podcast.
Recorded live at Grassroots Studios in South Minneapolis.
It's
it's all unraveling. I feel it in my abdomen, about to take a swim in a bottle from the cabinet. Full throttle, hollow in the content of the glass I sip. Too much pain, yeah, the shit ain't even masking it. Okay, got a few loose things I need to tighten up. Do it in the dark before the sky tries to brighten up. Maneuver in the shadows, that's all I'm really used to. Most people always try to find a way to use it. Feeling for a drive, I'm in need to feel alive. 95 miles per hour on a 94 ride. Pissing off passerbyers that are forced to coincide with me. Middle finger up to the punk on the side of me. Rough around the edges, disrespecting the guest list. Use all my drink tickets and forget the set list. I've seen it all before and you ain't impressive. I ain't shit either, yeah, I've learned that lesson. Had it over the wind. Got my windows open, I ain't holding it in. I try to take it slow, but the motion's intense. It happened too fast, can't get over the bends. Let it go, let it go, let it go in the wind. Got my windows open, I ain't holding it in. I try to take it slow, but the motion's intense. It happened too fast, can't get over the bends. Let it go, let it go. My vision hazy, yeah, I know I'm living crazy though. Drowning in the frequencies emitted from the radio. Balance on a tightrope of insulin and bad credit. No hope, shit is getting hectic and it's magnetic. Burning incense and watch the smoke dissipate. Disappear, drift away, same game, different day. Out of my element like most of the time. You should mind your fucking business and I'll focus on mine. Out of line, outer limits, what I'm hoping to climb. If you open up my mind, I don't know what you'll find. Signed the dotted line, now I'm running out the contract. Once it's all over, I don't know if I'll come back. An addict to the hazardous alcohol and blunt wraps. A couple loose screws and some glue on the hubcaps. Let it go in the wind. Got my windows open, I ain't holding it in. I try to take it slow, but the motion's intense. It happened too fast, can't get over the bends. Let it go, let it go, let it go in the wind. Got my windows open, I ain't holding it in. I try to take it slow, but the motion's intense. It happened too fast, can't get over the bends. Let it go, let it go. Let it go in the wind.